Hey everybody, welcome back to Canadian Hustlers, episode 4. We are here today with Bryan Wiltshire from RE/MAX Tillsonburg. Bryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I have brown eyes. I use spike. No, I've born and raised in Tillsonburg. I've been doing real estate for 10 years now, just this year.
Congrats, man.
Congrats, thank you,
That's
thank
awesome.
you. Yeah, they haven't fired me yet.
Yeah.
They've tried, I think, but no, they're good. So I've been at RE/MAX for just 5 years now. So 5 years this year I've been at RE/MAX. Before that I was at Morgan Realty for there in Tillsonburg as well. I was there for 6 years and made the move over to RE/MAX and been there ever since.
Awesome.
And that's where I'm sitting now.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Did you always do real estate right after you came out of school? Or
No.
where did you kind of start? Like,
No.
you went to school in Tillsonburg?
I finished high school. I took English a lot because I wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
So we took another lap there. I didn't end up going to college for real estate or anything like that. I applied for accounting, actually, and I decided I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
That's for boring people.
Well, that's a job I might have gotten fired from.
Right. Screwing up the numbers.
Yeah, well, and I talk too much too. So it's just, they're just going to, okay, you got to go. No, in fact, I jumped right into sales, basically. I mean, I worked in retail for a little while, during school, after school. And it actually came upon me. I was working at Joggers, if you remember that, in the mall in Tillsonburg.
I remember that, yeah.
Remember Joggers?
Yeah.
Well, I worked there for a couple years, maybe 3 years, and it kind of got me interested in sales because it was actually sales driven.
Yeah.
You didn't really get a lot of commission, but there were spiffs that you could work on some bonuses, right?
Yeah, like small incentives kind of thing.
Yeah, you get the incentives. So there'd be Columbia deals where every Columbia coat you got $5. Yeah. So I'm like, perfect. We're pushing Columbia coats.
Right.
This is
Awesome.
good.
Makes
right?
sense, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then there was Maple Leaf stuff. If you remember going in to any sports store, really, there's always this little section of Maple Leaf stuff that it never sells.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to make an incentive. Whoever sells the most Maple Leafs shirts, little mini sticks, socks, gloves, what have you, you'll get a chance to go to the NHL box at the Air Canada Centre.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I won that too for our area.
Oh, cool.
And so I don't know, it got me interested going like, okay, this is very motivating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
There was a
question.
return.
Yeah.
Did the Leafs win that game?
I don't remember. No. I think they did. Yeah, they always win.
They always win. They just don't get a cup. That's okay.
They don't get the cup that night. That's back when Domi was playing still and that.
So it's still gritty hockey.
Yeah. So
Nice.
some gritty fights and that. It was a great night though. I met a lot of other people in there, and all the owners were there. It was kind of a fun night. But it did get me interested. It kind of opened my eyes that dangle a carrot and I'll go, right?
Yeah.
So very motivating that way. So while working there, I really got interested into sales, and I was looking at Homes magazine, the ones you see in town, right?
Yeah.
And I was going like, geez, I wonder if I could sell one of those, right? What would that be like?
Right.
And that's really what got me going. I'm looking at like brokers back then. It was associate brokers, and salespeople, right? So it was a little different setup then. I went in and that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And that was purely my motivation, was just kind of sales driven, right? Sales interested me. So I was lucky enough, my mom offered to pay for my courses the first time around.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then I didn't finish it the first time around. Right? So I would have been about 21, 22 at the time. And I didn't finish the last course, and I ended up getting into a sales gig at CarQuest in Tillsonburg. My brother got me hired there We were driving, delivering parts. That was a really, really fun job. There's a really good group of people who worked there. We had a ton of fun. It was by far one of the funnest jobs I've ever had. Then it slowly moved up to the counter, doing phone calls, taking care of customers. Then they eventually, the sales guy that was there, Craig, he'd done sales there for like 20 years. He ended up going to a management position at another store. So they threw me out on the road, which I'm sure they were nervous about.
But great
Got some extra
though.
insurance.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity.
Yeah.
And I tell you, that's where I learned a lot about sales.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. Basically, the gig was, we had a territory. It was a quite large territory. Going and talking to all the garages, and not just garages, but that's your primary customer.
Yeah.
Service shops and that. Making sure they're happy with you. Making sure they're buying product from you. And that was always an interesting kind of gap. I was a young guy again. I was like 22, 23 at the time. I was a young guy walking into these shops, and these shops, they're all privately owned for the most part. So,
right.
They're running a serious show here.
It can be a little intimidating.
Yeah. So you walk in, and there's no messing around.
Right.
Some of the customers, you're keeping a stock there. Keeping their filters and, just simple stuff like bulbs and stuff like that too. They keep stock of these things. They got a car on the hoist at, $95 an hour. I don't want to wait for you to drive 15 minutes out here to bring me that part, so it better be on my shelf.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. For good reason. So you learned a lot about service at that point, making sure these folks are happy. They're spending a lot of money with you monthly.
Yeah.
So that really kind of geared me into, okay, this is how you service people. And going further into that, it was, and the previous sales guy, Craig there, I took some words from him too, you just always do what you say you're going to do. If you're going to go back and do a quote, do these things, And then of course, just even the guys that don't deal with you primarily, go in and say hi to them, Because chances are if they need something from you and you're the second guy in line, at
You
least
might
you
not
get
be
a shot
first.
there too,
Yeah.
right? So, it was fun that way. And then from there, I ended up going back to get my real estate license. I'm like, okay, it's go time again. And we went that way, and that's when I'd met who's my wife now and my partner, and she encouraged me largely to finish my real estate license, go in and get it. And,
Nice.
And that's where we went.
Was she in mortgages at that time, or was she in finance?
50-50.
She was in finance,
She was in
right?
finance. She worked for City Financial at the time, and she was assistant branch manager, I believe, there. And she was working up. She started doing other roles in that too. So she was in finance, and then eventually went to CIBC as a branch manager for a little while. Then worked into the mortgage role there, and then went to RBC. And from RBC, she's with Remax now.
Yeah.
And she always wanted to get a real estate license, so
Yeah, and you guys work together now.
Yeah, we work together. So far, it's been great. We've always had a same view on sales and stuff like that, right? So even when I was doing sales for a lot of years, she understood the role, she understood the hours. She kind of set me free, like,
This is what you got to do.
Yeah.
Go after it.
Yeah, supported me fully, and so with her coming into the business, it's not new to her. She was commission paid for years with mortgages too, so it's not, the burn is there, right? So, yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So why did you get into real estate? What was it? The fact that you seen, hey, I do sales, I get commission now, but as soon as I get into real estate, the commission is going to be bigger, or was it just an interest in real estate in general? And what was kind of the motivation to go from selling
shoes, like
selling
being Al Bundy?
shoes? Right,
Yeah.
right, because everything is lower, commissions are lower, and then you make a big jump.
Yeah, it was. I think the challenge of it was, this is serious stuff.
Right.
Can I pull it off? It's kind of to prove it to myself.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily money motivated, although it's an attractive thing. I looked at it as like, hey, that could be a career. I didn't go to college. I didn't have a skill, that I'd prepared for. Mm-hmm. Talking's always been my skill. Ask anybody, right? I can do it forever, right? I don't know what time you guys got to be home, but
I got time.
This is going to take a while. So, so that was kind of, a little bit of gift of gab, kind of learning some of that stuff. Like, oh, okay, this is good. Like sales is my gig, and real estate seemed to be the most serious gig, to me, anyways.
Yeah.
I've always had an interest in homes. Even as a kid, I'd always have to go to people's places and check out their bathroom. I don't know why. Right?
Just to see what it looks like.
I had no idea why. It had to be the bathroom. This is a weird thing. But that's what I don't know. I was just intrigued me in that way. And then you kind of start, even as a young guy, you walk around houses going like, I wonder how much that's worth. And it wasn't an investment thing for me. I didn't get my license to be an investor necessarily. It's always just been it's been purely a service thing to me and a challenge.
Yeah.
So just to build a career, I looked at the realtors that I knew in the past, like they were, I looked up to them at some level.
It's funny, when I started too, I think every realtor I knew, or most of them I knew, they were all pretty well off.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a motivator for me as well.
Sure. And it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and you don't know it. On the outside, it always looks good, right?
When you get in, you kick your feet up on the desk the first day, let's go.
Let the sales come, and they don't show up, right?
By 5 o'clock, it's like, better go home for dinner, I guess.
Better go knock on a door, maybe, or something.
Yeah. But that was the funnest thing, and I've since then, once you know how difficult, and not just real estate, sales in general, if you do sales in any career, you're largely commission paid or motivated that way.
Yeah.
So
there's no ceiling.
There is no ceiling.
There's no ceiling.
And there's also there's no bottom either. Bottom can be zero, right?
Yeah,
so there's no baseline that
You're only as
says
good as your next sale.
you're safe here, right? So that kind of keeps your heart pumping. Blood pressure's okay, but it's it's I don't know what I'm doing. So, but it's good. So it took a really big interest in. I read every sales book, and I had brokers that recommended books to me. I did coaching with different coaches.
From Canada? Or
from Canada, yeah. One was the first one I did when I was at Morgan's. My broker there, she turned me on to Chris Leaders. So she took the group of us there. They were just starting out, so it was a nice intimate group. And Chris Leaders been a trainer, real estate and mortgage coach.
Okay.
For a lot of years. He's out of Barrie.
Yeah.
So he would come down to London, Toronto, whatever, and he'll run a 7-week course.
Cool.
And I learned a lot from that. That was kind of my baseline of here's how you walk yourself through a transaction. Here's how you get leads. Here's some scripts for you. It was kind of a whole, and he was very approachable. Like it was very lighthearted. We're not a hard coach. Like he's just
easy to listen to.
Not like a Dan Pina.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So you get it.
That's something different.
Yeah, something a little different.
Yeah.
Right? So we did his course a couple times, and that kind of helped me. It's one of those rah things. Once in a while, you just go to like a single day event just to get you pumped up.
Just to get a little pumped.
Sure. Yeah. And then of course I've looked at. Stuff like Brian Buffini, Tom Ferry, all the
Rob Rich, what's his name?
Richard Robbins.
Richard Robbins,
yeah.
He's two different people here.
Yeah, and then local guy, Ryan Hodge was out of London, and I did some coaching with him too, right? So and I learned a lot from everything. Like I just cherry pick.
You take what you can do. We do the same thing. You grab a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And people recommend you books. You go listen to them.
Sure.
Yeah. So and you learn a little bit here and there, and it kind of puts you on a good path.
That's right. And of course, working with other agents. I mean, experienced agents was, look to them to see what's, I've always asked a lot of questions. Right, I mean, I'm sure some agents go like, "Here comes Brian, oh good." But what's he going to ask?
Ask him till they get annoyed. You know what I mean? Just keep asking.
Nobody's asked me to leave. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, they can send me away.
Yeah, perplexed with what you know. Like what do you know? Like, could I be doing something better? So I mean, I'm not afraid to. I've always just taken an interest in it. It really intrigues me. So it's the most books I've read as an adult.
It's funny. So have I.
Yeah.
I'd never read. I read magazines. I never liked reading.
No.
And then I got into real estate, and I'm like, I better learn some stuff. And I've read more books in the last 3 years than the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
Aside from what I got assigned at school, but that doesn't count. So.
Right.
Always like there's a movie version or something, right? So did they make a movie? That'll be good enough.
Mice and Men became one of my favorite movies, right?
There you go.
And really close to the actual book, so the book report was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, why Team Real Estate?
Why team?
Yeah.
The couch was going to get mighty uncomfortable.
Okay.
No, actually, even from sorry, I'm all wet now. But I knew that was going to happen at some point, right?
Fill the whole glass.
I'm not allowed to
Kept it
wear
in a
white to
bottle.
restaurants because, it's happening. So,
That's all right.
anyhow, basically, Amanda kind of come in. She's my wife. She wanted to get her real estate license. She knew the mortgage side of it. I mean, for her and I, it was a no-brainer to team up.
Yeah.
Of course, and it was, really quite a trade-off. She's, she's good administratively. Facebook, Instagram, she knows. She's right on top of a lot of that stuff too, right? And I get into the advertising end of that as well, but she really takes it by the horn. She gets really excited about those things. And that's kind of the nice yin and yang. Regardless of the team, she's really excited about certain things, and I'm really excited about other things.
And together it makes a good
mash them together.
pair. Yeah.
Once you find that synchro, it's it can work really well.
Yeah, and you guys are doing well. I see your signs everywhere. So
Well,
it's
thanks, man. Not as good as
I mean, I doubt that, but
but
no.
but and truthfully, another dynamic of it is even going into a listing appointment as especially a husband and wife team has advantages. You go in, people seem to be a little bit more comfortable. I mean, it can be a little more relaxed. I'm not going in as a hard presenter type thing. And
that's the biggest thing I find too. You try to get them to relax. Try to get the client to relax. Try to make them feel comfortable. It's a stressful time, right? So. And
sometimes people have an easier time talking to her. Sometimes they have an easier time talking to me, depending on who it is. So it's really a nice. It's a nice rhythm that goes in there, and it is, of course, even when, if I'm filling out FinTrack forms or doing whatever, right, and she's gabbing away to the client, so they're not sitting. There's no awkward silence.
Yeah, where you're like trying to.
It's a lot of laughter. There's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And just relax. This is going to be a big purchase. It's going to be stressful for the next couple of months. So let's have some fun now.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So the team thing really went from there, and then of course, Melissa joined us as well, and that was.
You have another person on your team. That's right,
yeah. So Melissa McDonald, she came in with us.
Nice.
And she approached us, and we were thinking about, we're always intrigued with growing. Again, there's another synchro in there, right? So, but with her, she's a good asset. She's good with finding leads, and she, again, another personality, and she's very similar to us, so it actually works well.
Yeah.
But again, another personality where someone's.
Well, I mean, some people fit better together.
Sure,
right?
sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you have that. You have these interviews or these walkthroughs and stuff.
Yeah.
It just doesn't gel.
That's right.
Right, and you're better off just putting them together with someone that does.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
as opposed to trying to fight it the whole time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it works that way. I mean, sometimes it just flows in that way. Some clients like, and there's relationships in there too, especially working in a small town.
Yeah.
There's relationships.
Yes.
She's got relationships over here. Amanda's got relationships over here. I've got relationships. Somewhere in the middle, they come together,
connect.
right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of taking advantage of that circle as well. Kind of many hands, right? More lead generating, more opportunity to pass things off, or we take advantage of each other's skills too. Mm-hmm. So
another thing I can see it working really well with is like a divorce case.
Yeah.
Where if they separate, you want to represent one side and help the other person.
It's possible.
Kind of make it smoother, right? That would really help too.
Yeah,
So.
That's certainly been a discussion we've had with clients in the past. Again, depends how comfortable they are with it, because they're like, well, you guys are still working together, so it doesn't always work.
Right. Yeah, no, I understand, but it's still like
it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
And we have had clients that are like, oh, we're both comfortable with you guys, but we want our own representation at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So sometimes it works.
To create options.
That's
which is huge, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it works. It works. A lot of good advantages that way.
So everyone on the team kind of does the same thing, or is your wife at the office more often? Are you out in the field, or you're always on the road together?
You
What
know,
is kind of the
we have similar roles.
okay?
I would say Amanda does have a large client group on her own as well as I do.
Yeah.
But we do have very similar spheres. So I focus quite a bit on lead generating.
Okay.
But we both do, in fairness. Keeping in touch with past clients. We're both not afraid to cold calling. In fact, when she did cold calling, when she worked at the banks, I mean, she'd make 60 calls a day easy.
Wow.
And just, have no problem. Just bing, bing,
Yeah,
bing.
the phone works better than people think it does.
It does.
They say the phone's
It
dead,
does.
but I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at your response rate on a phone opposed to response rate on an email,
Email is not,
it's a lot better.
Email is a good fodder to kind of, hey, remember me,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
that's true.
But it's not
A
still
deal
not.
closer.
It's not a deal
No,
closer.
no.
That's right.
I think nothing's better. Well, face to face the best,
Face-to-face
but
is the
there's
best.
not enough time,
Yeah.
right? So then the next best thing would be the phone,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And I do think people pick up the phone more than people know.
Yeah, you'd be surprised,
Yeah.
right? Like it's, and I've never really had a bad experience on the phone. A couple.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
but
mean,
you'll
it's
have them.
very,
If you make
very
hundreds of
little,
calls.
right?
Speak to the bad ones.
Yeah. So let me tell you what happened in that one. Don't call me again. But most of the times, people are pretty open, and my strategy has always been to kind of be light about it.
Yeah.
If they're not interested in making a move or selling, buying, whatever, right now, I mean, we don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take up your time or try to convince you why you should. You know, it's like, we got folks looking in the neighborhood, and are you interested in selling? And nope, not right now. Perfect. Thanks for your time.
Or the whole, I folks in your neighborhood. I know you probably don't want to sell, but
Yeah.
you know anybody that wants to sell?
Yeah. Hey, coming a little late, right? But what's funny is most times people will tell you about their house.
Yeah.
They're proud of their house, right?
Yeah.
So that's a surprise. I don't want to
Story.
sell, but I'll tell you about it.
Hey, it's
And
actually
like,
amazing
well,
how
just-
receptive people are.
They are
actually.
Most people are pretty receptive. And again, hey, if they don't want to talk, then I don't keep them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the phone. So yeah, we to get back to that, we both do lead generating.
Yeah.
I focus on a lot of online lead generating and stuff like that. Doing the ads and
Mainly social or other platforms. Where are those kind of
social,
coming
Google.
from? Google advertising or
Yeah,
organic?
yeah.
Both.
Ads like boosting your website up to the top.
Yeah.
I'm trying to dig a little deeper in there. Google ads have surprisingly got much easier over the years. I remember trying to do ad campaigns earlier on, and it was French to me, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know a lot of French.
That's his area, right?
Do you speak French?
I speak fluent French.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I can ask for a pen. That's about what I can do in French.
Yeah, no, I speak it fluently.
Really?
I speak that language.
Oh.
Yeah.
Such a benefit. I wish I could. So, but that's what, Google, like trying to put these ads together.
Oh,
It was very intimidating. And now, I mean, you can go in and click, and it tells you, what do you want to do? I want to
They
plug
just
my real estate
guide you.
website. And I go like, okay.
They guide you through the whole
Right?
thing.
I mean, as long as they can find a quick, an easier way for you to pay them, they're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But they really have made it easy. So Google's done great.
Yeah.
Facebook, they're changing their algorithms all the time, but you try to keep up with what you can, and social's good.
I find the Facebook, just making an ad that you're allowed to boost has become
Sure.
super difficult.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. I'm not doing any marketing for real estate.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know the market. That's why I really like listening to these kind of conversations too.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it in the past for about half a year.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not my thing.
No.
I'm not going to go into this. But at that moment, it was already policies, discrimination
Yeah.
laws,
Yeah.
Right.
everything, just pushing on top
And
and top.
and
and
I
top
write a
until-
whole ad out, and they're like, "Your ad is discriminatory," and I'm like, "I don't see it. I'm looking. It's not there."
Do you
right?
ever
Yeah.
request manual review?
I do, but actually, I have a girl that posts them for me now.
Okay.
I'll write the post, and then she makes it bad. She doctors it and then posts it online now. Just she knows the policy, and I'm just
Yeah.
It's not something I want to spend time on.
Makes sense.
Something I
100%.
should know more about, but it's not something I want to spend too much time on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to. A lot of times, all I'm trying to do is just link people back to my website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to get into more colorful ads and stuff, but a lot of times, just here's the info, put it in there, and get it boosted somehow, and try to target it at some level, and just get them back to the website at the very least.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's the thing, right? I find with social media, you pay for marketing, but you have a response and you have raw data of what the feedback is.
Yeah.
So you're a little more hesitant to do things, right? Because you're worried it's not money well spent. Whereas if you go paper or print, it's like, oh yeah, no, that worked for sure. You have no idea.
Yeah. So the money's just gone already.
Yeah, the money's gone,
Yeah.
and you're all proud of yourself, but you have no idea what a response.
No.
So
there's a nice postcard.
yeah, I look good on it. Look at that.
You can remember what you sent to. Like, that was nice, right? But yeah, and like paper advertising. I mean, there's an opportunity in there now.
Yeah.
Not everybody's doing it anymore.
I think there's a little bit of a comeback.
There is a little bit of a
if you
comeback.
do it right.
You know, getting people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly, and I, we've done well with some direct mail in that.
Yeah.
I think there's people like to kind of open something and see their name on it.
Well, I think it used to be like everyone got mail, and then they were all excited to get an email.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, oh, I got another email.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you open up the 100 emails a day, and then you get like something in the mail. Well, nothing's ever in the mail just for fun, and it
feels a little bit
exciting.
better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you do check your mail, I don't know about you guys. But,
Pull the whole thing. Yeah.
I know. So,
There's no garbage beside the Canada Post box.
No. There should be recycling right at
I know.
Hey, you got an idea right there.
That might actually be a pretty cool business model.
That could be.
Yeah, that could be.
But actually, maybe we shouldn't do that because we're sending flyers too. No recycle bins. No recycle bins at the
Send the
mailbox.
flyers out to look. I'm like, how many people threw it out? Oh no.
That would be a good way to figure out your return on them, though.
That would be.
Yeah.
If you sent 50 to a neighborhood and
You know what?
35 of them were in the recycle bin.
In that respect, if you actually put that there,
Yeah.
you could be a company that just sets it beside there, and then you sort it out and you get feedback
Yeah.
on how many people actually took your flyer home.
Right. Can we just cut that part out? We're going to keep that.
I have seen.
That sounds so much better.
I actually have seen multiple people or multiple realtors that use an extension behind their phone number to track their mail.
Right.
If they get a call, they have an
Yeah.
extension on the postcard.
Yeah.
They receive a call through that number. They know that it came from that advertising campaign. Yeah.
And that's really as much as you want to know. If you get
Pretty
a phone
much.
call.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Right?
Yeah.
You get a phone call, it worked.
Yeah.
And again, it's still just a mini billboard. At least people say like, oh, Alex is in the neighborhood again. Mm-hmm. Here he is.
Well, if they take it home and you had a garbage bin there, that's a really good response rate, actually.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I probably look through. I'm like, I probably have to open this one. That's all junk. Boom.
Yeah.
I could definitely make it in my house.
Yeah.
It's in the recycle bin.
Hopefully there wasn't a check in there somewhere.
I look good enough through that. Even that anymore, it's just straight deposit, so I don't really get. Nobody sends me checks in the mail.
No.
Oh, I still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we still get paid in checks. I don't know. Do you guys do direct deposit?
It's direct deposit for us.
Are you? Yeah. Like we still deal in checks a lot, so I mean it's still exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got. I got a tax refund one year, and I said, "Well, this is the last time that'll happen." I kept that check.
I don't get refunds anymore for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know what happens, but no, it's. I don't know. It's the direct mailers seem to be working okay.
Well, it's like you know what
expensive
happens
now.
if the direct mail no one's doing anymore, you send it out, it's gonna work, right?
That's right.
But let's say email, everyone's like email doesn't work, and everybody quits. Well, I guarantee if everybody quit email and I start emailing, it's gonna work.
It will.
So it's wherever the market's lacking, and it's up and down. It's that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, keep an eye on the trends. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, right? Do whatever anybody else is not doing.
That's
pretty much.
Keep an eye on those trends, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Let's say 80% in everything, and then 20% in new, kind of like that. 80-20 and 90-10.
Yeah.
20. I like 80-20.
That's 20% in new. But it is true. We had just had this conversation this afternoon. When Facebook Marketplace just came out. And it was actually the same with Instagram Stories as well, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Started posting a little bit on Instagram Stories, even for other companies. It worked out very well.
Yeah.
But not paid. Right?
Yeah.
Because no one was really doing it yet.
Yeah.
6 months later, attention was gone. right, within the story. So even the advertisement campaigns were getting less attention.
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace, I used to go to auctions together with my dad, just buy an awful lot of stuff and resell it on Kijiji, Facebook Marketplace. First Kijiji, then Facebook Marketplace came out, I think it's now 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, something like that, roughly, that makes sense.
We had about half a year, we went to every auction. We flipped everything, whatever we bought, we sold for at least double what we bought it for.
On Marketplace?
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was 3 months.
Wow.
And then people started to grab the stuff out of their homes, post a picture of it, put it on Marketplace.
It made it that much more simple again.
Within a month, the market was over flooded.
Yep.
And you didn't sell anything anymore.
Yep.
So every couple of months...
So it happened that quick?
It goes really quick, but there's those short windows. You have Instagram stories, new filters on Instagram. Now you have 2-minute videos on Instagram instead of one. Mm-hmm. You know, there's just those little things that go on where you have a little window in time where you have an opportunity and they're going to be gone in no time again. Yeah. And if you really want to go hard, you got to find those windows and attack right away. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The problem is it's tough because you're hesitating because it is new, right? We're always scared of new things somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, and even just knowing how to do it sometimes, you know.
That's true too.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta be on top of
or
it.
taking
That's
the time,
mine, right?
Taking the time to figure it out, right?
Well, I think a lot of people get so busy and then you're like, whatever. And you should, that's why you actually need someone to be on that part of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, oh no, this came out, we should do this. Okay, attack it. And that's where your 20% comes in.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just send 20% there. Let's try that out. Let's try this avenue out and see how it works.
You're on Snapchat at all?
I've snapped a couple times. I just use the cool features. I don't actually post anything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's what I look like.
Made the crazy videos.
Yeah.
Do you do anything?
Look, I'm a chick.
I don't actually know the advantage of Snapchat. I know it's there.
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way,
but
I don't know how to utilize it.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know how to sell myself on there.
Yeah,
it's a very different platform than Instagram.
Yeah. It is.
It's very different, but it's an interesting market there, though.
Yeah,
there's so many young kids between 15 and 25.
And that's the thing. And I guess now, actually, if you really think about it, the older ones on Snapchat, they're probably starting to buy homes.
Yeah, like
right. So there might be some sort of a market there, but I don't know how much is going to be wasted on the 15. Well, I mean, if it wouldn't be wasted either. Yeah. Right. If they see you for the next 3 or 4 years. Yeah. It might help, but it's a long game.
And I think that's the thing. It could be. I mean, Snapchat has been very popular.
Yeah.
Again, I wasn't sure how to. I mean, people use it to chat and that, but the fact that it disappears all the time, kind of to me went. I'm afraid to get into conversations on there.
You can save them and stuff now too.
Oh, can you?
Now it's
you can set it auto save within 24 hours, that kind of stuff. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll go back and I'll just use it like text messaging. Yeah. Facebook Messenger, like the amount of people that use Messenger now.
Yeah. How many deals have you done where I actually have done deals where I don't get the guy's number.
Yeah.
Till like the lawyer's like, you have a cell number? I'm like, 1 second. Let me just message him on Facebook for a sec.
Let me go on Facebook.
Yeah. Hey, can I have your cell number? Your lawyer needs it.
Yeah. I don't have a cell phone number.
Yeah. I use Wi-Fi. What? A cell
everywhere.
phone? Yeah.
Yeah. That's true though. Like
I've done deals on like Instagram. We've talked through Instagram.
Yep.
I have one guy.
Yep.
He only talks to me through Snapchat.
Really?
Yeah. That's what he uses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's how I communicate with him.
Yeah.
So it's different, but hey, if that's where he wants to communicate, that's fine. I have the platform. It doesn't bother me. Just another notification.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, I mean you have to be connected everywhere at some level, right? And
WhatsApp. I have another client that just uses WhatsApp.
Yeah.
It's very, very popular in Europe. WhatsApp.
Yeah. They just came out with stories too.
Oh, there you go.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, that was interesting too. The stories, even like Instagram, took me a bit to get onto because I was just like, seeing like I didn't know who to follow, but now there's so many people in your sphere that you're following. Yeah. And it's starting to work, right? So. And stories I didn't really understand. I was like, okay, that looks cool. But now, like you say, stories is kind of all I look at.
Right? Yeah. You don't go through the feed anymore.
No.
We run 15-second video ads in the stories.
Yeah.
It goes phenomenal. Much more better.
Yeah, I guarantee.
In the feed.
People don't really scroll the feed
Good response,
anymore.
right?
I don't scroll the feed unless I'm looking for somebody. But I find more and more.
Or run out of stories.
Yeah, like I don't consume. I produce. I try to anyway. Like I try not to consume anymore because it just takes up so much of your time. I look at my screen times every day, and I'm just like, I'm on this too much. I'm on this too much. And
Like
there's no time in the day.
There's just no time left.
There's a lot to consume. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
You either produce or you consume.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a choice you got to make.
Yeah.
And 95% of the people consume.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I like that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then if you're in the 5%, you're going to make them,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to get...
So the only way I consume, I'm like, I consume to produce. So I'm like, what's everybody else doing? Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, we can take a little bit of that, and I'll make it my own.
Rip off and repeat.
Yeah, exactly. I'll make it my own though. Okay,
That's
it's
what
me.
you have to do. Yeah. But you see what other people are doing.
Yeah,
Like it's
well, it gives you a
intriguing.
good indicator too, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. See what kind of response they're getting with
Yeah.
it. It's I'm the online thing it's going hard. I mean, I don't know what happens after that.
Well, I already see attention disappearing in Instagram too.
Yeah.
You know, like Facebook
Yeah.
is kind of slowing down.
Yeah.
Facebook's slowing down.
Instagram is too.
Yeah.
Like,
But I find
less-
Facebook, you have to create more of a story, like more of like
Community.
an idea. Like it's more than just pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You have to have an explanation about it, and
Sure.
because it's more older people. Like I shouldn't say older. Yeah, I guess it is older people now.
We're older
Right.
now too.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But like the young people aren't on Facebook.
No.
Right, but I mean, older people. If you create like a little bit of a story, a little bit of a background,
Yeah.
like I'm doing with the store right now, I have that whole, I create a whole story, and I'm getting traction and a lot of attention on that.
Well, it becomes
Yeah.
a story people want
Yeah.
to follow now,
Yeah,
right?
and it's just,
They
and
come
I'm
back.
just having fun with it. It's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it becomes a story, and people like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Instagram is like you can write whatever you want on your Instagram post, but I don't think that many people read it. They look at the picture and
You'll
they
be
keep going.
surprised.
You think so?
You'll be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. I
Okay.
actually see really, long stories on Instagram do work.
Okay.
Do work.
Oh, so I'll have to try that out then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But you both never really use Snapchat for real estate.
I don't.
No.
I would actually love to see one realtor to try it out.
Yeah.
Like I know if you advertise on Facebook, advertise on Instagram, $15, $20 CPM, right? In Snapchat is around $5.
Really?
So it's
So much
about
cheaper.
30% of the
Yeah, how
price.
do I set it up? That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah,
got
I
to
have
go
to look
for
into
it,
it a
right?
bit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever. But yeah, I do think there's a market for it. Like I see my brothers and sisters just going nuts on Snapchat.
Yeah, they're
and,
all on
there's all
there.
those scores, right? There's all
Yeah.
the score systems going on.
Yeah.
And that's just keeping the attention so much within the platform. My brother's like, yeah, I got to 100 with my buddy. So within 20 days or 30 days, they have to send 100 Snapchats to each other.
Back and forth.
Back and
And
forth.
they get
back
points for this.
And they get points
Yeah.
for that stuff.
So
Yeah,
So-
I somewhat know, but you get like
what do
streaks
you
on
do?
there. You get
is
streaks.
this on the PlayStation?
Right?
This is on something called the internet.
Yeah.
The interweb, eh? Is that on computers now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
So you're getting points on Snapchats.
Yeah, so you send a snap back and forth, you get points.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And if you create a groups app and you're the one with the most snaps in the group, you gain points, and there's a whole bunch of point systems going on.
Can I add these to my credit card points?
Would be a great one.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
right?
It'd be awesome.
Great.
But they're just virtual points, right?
Oh
they
yeah,
just-
they're virtual
You know
points.
what they should do? They should make it into like a crypto coin or something like that.
Well, Facebook came out with a coin.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they'll be implementing it next year. What was it called again? I just read an article about it last week.
Facebook.
Facebook is coming out with their own currency.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh boy, better get on that.
yeah,
Oh my God.
on the blockchain. Oh man, well, I have no clue what a Litecoin.
Litecoin's out there already.
Yeah, that's not it.
Oh.
Let me check.
I have XRP. It's gonna moon. Okay.
It's gonna go.
It's gonna
going to
go.
the moon.
Okay.
You still have Bitcoin?
Yeah. No, I am into Ripple a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I see my limited knowledge of this area. I don't know too much about it, but when it comes to is it Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It's the big one.
Yeah.
When it comes to Bitcoins, I see no utilization of it.
They've
Not
tried.
yet.
The,
not
the,
yet.
the
Tried,
altcoins, I do see it.
Yeah.
So you have like XRP or Ripple, whatever it's called. They have a purpose. They have a use.
Global coin.
Oh, global coin. Cool.
Yeah.
That's what it's coming to. They want a global currency.
Well, for sure they do. I mean, because
Yeah.
it turns into the same thing where, and I mean, it's just innovation at one level, but the same principles apply. You know, now everybody's trying to get a currency. You know,
Yeah.
it's impossible to run. Well, it's not. I mean, worldwide we have different currencies all over the world. but how many currencies have gotten swallowed up?
Yeah.
Just by bigger, because that becomes easy, right?
Yeah.
So now you've got a whole euro instead of, francs and marks and all the rest, right? And dollars,
Guilders.
Sure, yeah.
Dutch, okay.
Yeah. I forgot the guilders.
But there is a market for crypto, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Eventually, yeah. I mean,
In the background, we're still working on some blockchain application too. It's kind of been on the hold, but we're picking it up again at the end of this month, actually. Starting with some new meetings. We're trying to just build a mobile app on the blockchain.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a cool thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
But the amount of projects that are going on behind the scenes from 2 years ago, kind of when the whole Bitcoin world collapsed, until now, and it's just been growing. It's just been growing.
Yeah.
It's coming back though. It actually is coming back.
Oh, even value's coming back.
Yeah, value's coming back. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But I look at it once in a while and I cry a little less.
Yeah. Some weeks you cry a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we're working with a company out of Toronto who has a massive team of blockchain developers, and they have a blockchain coin in the Bahamas.
Okay.
They got it legalized last month by the government of Bahamas.
Really?
As a official coin. So they have their banking licenses. The Bahamas is a little bit of a different country than Canada, of course.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot possible
What's
there.
that coin called?
I can send it to you. I do not know it off my head. Nice. But yeah, there is interesting stuff going on, definitely.
That is interesting. Because I don't know, it's weird to see where the future is going to be. I mean, and it's moving quickly.
Oh, it is.
5 years from now, 10 years from now is going to be insane as far as, who knows with currency.
I think as AI, that's going to be a big, big thing.
Yeah.
I think VR is going to be, it'll have its place.
VR is affordable now too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
I think augmented reality has more potential than VR.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Overlays. You're already seeing in construction now.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. You told me about that. Yeah. So you have glasses, you put them on, and then if you're an electrician, it shows the plans. It shows you where you want stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you have to run your wire here. Okay, it's in the plan. There you go.
Yeah.
Done.
It's pretty wild, eh?
It's cool.
That's cool.
So you're like, oh, I'm a plumber today. Oh, that's where I got to run that pipe. Yeah. It's really cool. It's little things like that, right? That'll just make it that much quicker. There's less questions. It's going to make things more efficient.
Yeah. And that's the name of the game, right?
Yep.
Speed.
And even with real estate, we've read articles with titles becoming part of the blockchain.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Like land titles.
Okay.
Right. So I don't know where that is at. This is just an article, and I think just a rant, but certainly a talk about verifying land titles through a blockchain.
Yep.
Right.
Which would be so much quicker.
Right. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, the thing is, too, I was talking to a lady out of Toronto area, and what she wants to do is she's into community housing. Mm-hmm. So, I said one of the drawbacks is what they want to do is they want to have a shared house with 4 or 5 people, but then you own the house. You have 1/5 share in the house.
Right.
So one of the drawbacks is if you're going to buy and sell all those little shares, it's a lot of work with titles.
Yes.
Right. So something like that would really
blockchain
would really make that quicker.
It'd be easier to verify.
Yeah.
Less paper.
And investment funds too.
Yeah.
Right now you're part of a pool, but if you're part of a blockchain investment fund, where the rules are set, everything is pre-developed, nothing can change once it launches. It can be split up in 1 billion shares.
Sure.
There's no limit.
And nothing's getting lost in the mix, right?
No, everything stays.
It all exists there.
The calculations will make sense.
And that could be useful. I mean, maybe you know more about this than I do, and I've just read and just heard from, through people. In some European countries now, you're not. Actually, this was told to me a client I had from Holland. He's in his late 70s and telling. Basically, you're not buying houses in some European countries. You're actually just buying the existing mortgage. Because you're just.
Yeah.
England, the first-time home buyer is 40?
Yeah.
I have to research that. I could find a fact check that, but I think the first-time home buyers around 40.
Wow.
And then you just take over the mortgage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be impossible to buy out the entire amount. because people can't. Nobody's paying off their mortgage.
No.
Right? You're 65. You want to peel out of this place. You haven't paid your mortgage off yet, and that's common. So now they're just purchasing
The mortgage,
the
yeah.
mortgages.
That's not common in Canada, is it?
No.
No, but I mean, the way the house prices are going, it might start becoming
Yeah,
common. Like as a first-time home buyer in this
Yeah.
area, like what are you thinking?
Yeah, like
300 kind of is kind of your. I mean, you can get stuff cheaper, but 300 seems to be the entry
It's
level
hard
now
to
anymore.
find anything under 300.
Yeah,
Like if I was buying my first home right now, looking at 300, I'd be worried.
I'd be crying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And 300 is even hard. I mean, it's like right now. I mean, we're just looking at stats today at a meeting, and our average price year to date right now is 403. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
You know, and not 6 months ago it was 369.
And 403, that's what areas are we talking?
So that includes Tillsonburg, Norfolk, Southwest Oxford. So Tillsonburg and the surrounding.
Yeah, okay.
Norwich Township is
Yeah.
included, but not as far as Ingersoll, Woodstock, or anything. It's just kind of our
Yeah,
trade
yeah.
area.
South of the 403.
Right,
Thing.
right, yeah. So, and then of course down along the lake as well. Like
Well, that includes the lake area as well, because their prices are usually lower, right? So
Yeah.
they've really gone up significantly then too.
So, well, Bayham,
Bayham,
Norfolk,
yeah.
and that, it includes that for our trade areas. So 403 year to date, which is perplexing.
lot.
Maybe I'm showing my age a little, which, you know, it's starting showing it right
It's
here
okay.
too.
The hairline's not receding yet.
No,
so
it's
it's
not.
fine.
No, it's not. No, not since I got
Less
that
gray
replaced.
than me.
Do you know what it was at 10 years ago, kind of when you started?
When I started,
Or if not.
I couldn't quote it, but it would be, the average price would have been right around, no, it would be less than that.
Less than that even, yeah.
It was 170, 180.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I made a living off selling 150, 169.
Yeah.
That was the houses I sold.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got a listing over 200, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, big listing.
Whoa.
It wasn't even that long ago
crazy.
though.
No.
Like you're talking 5 years ago.
No.
Like I bought houses, like my first house I bought like 7 years ago for like 170,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that same house is worth 3.
Yeah. Easy.
And yeah.
And it's incredible. So like back, I guess what I was going to say is I remember back probably about 10 years ago, you know, some of the really big markets like at the time Alberta and BC, like Vancouver, their average price was 440.
Yeah.
Right? And the Canadian average was around the 400 mark 10 years ago. Going like, wow, now Tillsonburg.
Yeah.
Tillsonburg's average price is 403.
Yeah.
I mean, now, again, it's 10 years ago, a lot's happened, but, you know, it's been going exponentially for the last few years.
And the rest of the country is where? You have an
I mean,
idea?
they're basically the same, I think. Well,
it?
I shouldn't say that.
I think it's a little higher. I think you're probably
Yeah.
closer to low 6s, I think, like for the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nationwide, you mean?
Oh, nationwide. We're probably close to that, actually. Yeah,
I
you're
bet
right.
you.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, out
Because
east.
Alberta's not doing too well.
No,
I mean, they're coming back, but
they always are.
yeah.
It's
Well,
a-
once they just, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's getting pretty wild, right? But going forward from there, like I don't know where our market goes from here. You know, kind of look back in history. You know, talking to some of the agents who've been around, you know, and they've seen some really hot markets, but never anything like this.
Right.
So it's
But I noticed we like around here everything went up the last 6 months, and like Toronto, a lot of areas went down. So I just think that's a little bit of leveling out, like they're talking about
Yeah.
anyway,
it does,
right?
and
I
that
think-
goes kind of
Yeah.
up and down, right?
But I find Toronto market's leveling out more than us, so we keep going
Yeah.
up. But I mean, it's because so many people want to commute anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think we're lucky. We're in growing communities here,
Yeah.
right? So I think the more unaffordable cities like Toronto get,
More
more
we get 'em.
affordable
Yeah.
we become. Now, it becomes unaffordable for
The people
the
living
people
here.
living here, which is kind of that's a bit of a downer, but
Yeah.
There's growth in the community.
there is a growth.
Which is good.
Hopefully, this is just an optimistic thought. I have no theory behind this at all, just optimism. But hopefully that growth from the city, the more people that come here, maybe there's more opportunities to come here. You know, maybe that creates more jobs. Maybe that, you know, and hopefully that would help make things more affordable for people here. Again, that's just my optimistic thought. Is the market going to go from there to what does the future look like for home buyers, and are we going to purchase property, or are we going to purchase mortgages? you know. So
how do you see for young people watching, if they want to get into real estate? With 10 years of experience, what do you advise?
Real estate as a career?
Real estate as a career.
What do I advise?
Is it a good time to step in? What are things to think about?
My theory is always, I think any time's a good time to step in. If real estate's a career you really want to go after, I would encourage you to look at it. I think depending on what your motivation is. I mean, I come from a motivation. This is my main source of income.
Yeah.
Right. And it's quite a passion for me in that level. There's other motivations. I mean, there are investors types. There are, part time. There's a lot of options to do that. I think if you really want to go in, I think it's just a commitment. If you want to put the commitment towards it, I think you have the ability to do well in this business if you have the commitment. A lot of learning. Yeah. You know, it's definitely. I think it's a bit of an attitude thing too. You know, you have to have the right attitude.
Positivity helps.
Positivity helps.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've never read so many positive thinking books in my life. Right? Yeah. Wake up every morning this is a good day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? This is a good day.
But you have to.
You do.
If you whatever it is, whether it's real estate or
you do.
A marketing company like I'm building.
That's right.
You know,
entrepreneur anyway, right?
Yeah, you have to.
I think even just
you gotta wake up.
If you're an employee somewhere, you know, you go in with a positive attitude. Yeah. There's a way to build yourself up in that company too.
Yeah.
You know, not every job is fun. I mean, real estate's not always fun.
No. Nope.
It's probably the funnest thing I can do without getting canned.
Yeah.
I think that's just a good overall perspective. Everybody gets frustrated. Everyone has bad days. And that's, you know, one of my brokers told me that early on is if you have a bad day in real estate, you know, and I'll just relate it to real estate, I guess. Mm-hmm. You know, if you have a bad day, you lose a deal, whatever, you can be angry about it all day. Go home, do what you do to relax, get up the next day and go.
And be happy. Exactly.
Right.
I know you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But you have to process it and move on and put it behind you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're going to be miserable all the time.
Yeah.
And you talk about that one deal that went south for a half a year, and you're just you're going to ruin everything else.
That's right. And you know, you do take things personally, even though they're usually not.
Oh yeah.
You know, you take it personally. And you have to right?
Yeah. Just breathe.
Go on to the next one. Tomorrow's a new day. And I found over 10 years, I don't know why, but everything works out for the best at some level. Even your worst day comes out and goes.
It's crazy. You get a deal that falls apart, and then it falls apart for a reason.
It might have happened for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, the seller's like, really, I'm actually really glad that didn't come together because whichever, right?
Yeah.
And good.
Yeah.
You know, and it saved everybody some trouble. But I don't know, it just always works out year after year. And I think it has a lot to do with your perception on, you know,
life.
And any entrepreneur spirit, right? You know, you have, all right, let's go on to the next. That didn't work for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Waking up the next day with the
smile on your face.
Right?
Even if you got to force it.
I appreciate it.
Too.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
That was episode 4 of Canadian Hustlers, and we'll be back next week.
Cheers.
Thank you.